4, headlined by Amanda Nunes and Rocky Pennington, and might I mention, the first lesbian title fight in the UFC history.
Yes, they're both lesbians. Raquel Pennington is married to
a UFC fighter,
Torres.
Both girls.
I never knew about Tisha Torres because I thought she was kind of hanging with Sage Northcutt. The two of them were doing a lot together, and I thought, oh, then maybe they're a couple or whatever. But whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as she's happy, great. So yeah, Rocky Pennington is with Tisha the Tiny Tornado Torres, and then you got Amanda Nunes with what's her partner's name?
Shit.
She's got like a Russian name.
Yeah.
Nina Ansaroff.
Nina Ansaroff. There it is.
Ansaroff. Yeah, there we go.
Woo.
I knew it was a Russian sounding name. So yeah.
But both these girls are both couples are. Tisha Torres is about to fight Joanna Jędrzejczyk as well. Keep in mind, so that's got to be a crazy household there between Tisha and Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
But Ted, let me just mention really quick, Raquel Pennington. I see a lot of people writing her off on social media and these MMA websites, and me and you actually gave Raquel Pennington female fighter of the year. I mean, she even cracked our top 10 list above some of the males in 2016, going into 2017 for our end of the year show on Evil and Intoxicated.
Mm-hmm. Well, I give her a shot.
But she hasn't fought since. She hasn't fought since, though.
Somebody, okay, so ring rust, maybe not.
If you believe in it.
Somebody was asking me about that, and I said, what did I say? I think I said Nunes 60-40. You know, Nunes will win.
Shut up. You didn't say that. What? I said the same thing to Zane like 3 hours ago. Zane Simon, or the head of Bloody Elbow.
Yeah, I would put it at about 60-40. Yeah, man.
Yeah, Zane's saying more 80-20.
Who's saying 80-20?
For Amanda beating Rocky. Zane Simon, our buddy Zane.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's the way I look at it. I mean, Pennington's no slouch. So, but it's kind of, I've said this before about other fights. It's like pretty much every area that she's good in, I think Nunes is just a little bit better.
Here's the issue. Like you said, she hasn't fought since the end of 2016. We all know Amanda Nunes is the Vitor Belfort of the women's division, where she's going to blitz early. Can Raquel Pennington handle that early blitz? What do you think?
Right, and but she blitzes early, but some people were saying that she gasses, but she's gone 5 before, hasn't she?
That's true. She has to go 5. She has gone 5 against Valentina. She has gone just 5 against Valentina, right?
Okay.
But she has done it.
I don't know about the whole gassing thing. But maybe that's something that that Raquel would want to test. You know, maybe that's. Let's find out. She's gone 5 before. Let's see if she. You know, let's maybe that. I don't know. That's like the only kind of thing I'm thinking about where she could possibly, try to go for a win.
I mean,
pressure. You know, and crowd her against the fence. Try to take her down, but then again, Amanda Nunes is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Maybe it's not a good idea to take her down.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, be aggressive and pressure her. See what happens.
These are the perks of beating people like Ronda Rousey and Holly Holm, or Amanda Nunes' last couple of wins. She beat Miesha Tate, Ronda Rousey. Why am I drawing a blank on Amanda Nunes right now? It's ridiculous.
Who did she fight? Who else did she fight?
I'm drawing a huge blank with Amanda Nunes. It's so weird.
Oh, heck. Now I got to look it up.
Well, while you're looking that up, let me say this. This is the reward of beating these elite people. People are saying they're not giving her enough credit. They weren't promoting her. But now it kind of seems like we're putting Amanda Nunes on a pedestal because we're giving her all this credit of beating people like Ronda Rousey. And looking at Amanda Nunes versus Raquel Pennington, it almost seems like a mismatch because we're literally looking at Amanda Nunes on a pedestal.
Yeah, I don't know when she's critical of the UFC saying they don't promote her, I don't get that at all. But her last win was against Valentina Shevchenko,
That's
September of last year.
yeah, and we just said that
Split
too.
decision.
We're
She
idiots.
squeezed out a split decision win over Valentina Shevchenko at UFC 215.
And it's the second time she beat her.
And before that, it was the win over Ronda. So, you know, there you go.
That's the perks of, getting the belt and defending it. So, and, headlining UFC 200 and beating Misha Tate that night, that was huge, man. That was huge. She stormed right through Misha at UFC 200 to headline it. John Bones Jones, man, he really screwed up that night. That was his card. But, moving forward, Ted, my prediction for this fight, probably Amanda Nunes, but inside of me, I really want Rocky. But I know better. Don't pick with your heart. If you got to put 5 on it, guys, I'd put 5 on Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, I'm picking Amanda as well. Yep. Trying to think of how she's going to do it. I mean, she's got definitely some weapons there. But when you look at Raquel Pennington, never been knocked out, only been submitted once, but she's been decisioned 4 times. So, that seems to be where she's most susceptible. You can beat her by decision, way more than you can by knockout or submission. So maybe that's how she has a shot, because it's hard to knock her out and it's hard to submit her. Maybe then she really wants to drag this fight out into the deep waters to see, to see what Nunes can do.
It's going to be frustrating, though, because Amanda does have pretty decent takedown defense. If Rocky can't get it a couple times, that will destroy a lot of fighters' confidence when they're chasing after something and can't get it. You saw it with Damian Maia when he was trying to chase after Colby Covington or Tyron Woodley. He just couldn't get it. Every attempt got weaker and weaker. Round after round, confidence was just going down. I'm looking for that big impression in the first round by Amanda Nunes or Raquel Pennington. Maybe it's going to be Raquel Pennington that's going to go in there and really put on the squeeze against Amanda and really put us on the edge of our seats. I would love to see that. This women's division needs something like that to happen. Another edge of your seat, exciting fight. This could be it, but I'm not promising it to anybody. But like you said, 60-40 or worse. But Raquel Pennington, really quick, with a record of 9-6 going into this fight, ranked 2 in the division. And then you got Amanda Nunes at 15-4 going into this. Let us know what you guys think on Twitter at evilowner-echo and at Ted Czech at TEDCZECH. Closing thoughts on this, Ted? Do you have any?
On that fight or
on that fight? Just on that fight.
Blah blah blah. I mean, yeah, I just 60-40. I think Nunes takes it. I think Pennington's going to try to take her into deep waters. I don't think she's going to succeed. Amanda Nunes by unanimous decision.
All right. So the co-main event, which is actually a really exciting co-main event, is Jacare Souza versus Kelvin Gastelum. Now, for some reason in my head, I feel like these two have fought before.
I know it might seem like that. I don't think so.
Isn't that weird? I don't know why I see that in my head. Who did Jacare recently lose to? Robert Whittaker. It was Whittaker that I'm thinking of that he lost to. And in my head, I was thinking it was Kelvin Gastelum. Jacare Souza, man, I mean, the way that he looked in his last fight, which was against... Who was his last fight? Jacare's last fight against... Derek Brunson. It was against Derek Brunson, January 27th, right at the beginning of the year. That is in the lead of my knockout of the year, Ted. I don't know if you remember, but leading up to that fight, Jacare was in critical condition. He said his wife had to feed him leading up to that fight. He couldn't even feed himself. Yeah, and then he goes in there. He had that powerful leg kick to the head of Brunson and just threw him around like a rag doll. Just looked very powerful, very confident, and then broke down emotionally afterwards. Going into this fight, man, this is going to be a collision because Kelvin Gastelum is also young and riding his high horse off a couple of wins.
Right. I mean, Jacare is 38 years old. Let's not forget that. When you're at that age, I mean, you can still have great fights, but you're kind of just around the corner from possibly going on the downslide of your career. And Kelvin Gastelum is only 26. He's 12 years younger. That's a lot. That's a big That is a large disparity in age there between Ronaldo Jacare Souza and Kelvin Gastelum. Everybody, Gastelum, it just struck me. And I think people have talked about this before, but he's like a light heavyweight above the waist, and then he's like a lightweight the waist down. You know that? Have you ever seen like his upper body is immense, and then he's got teeny weeny legs.
He's like Ron from the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
But let's just look at the couple of people that he's fought recently, like Michael Bisping by knockout. That was a brutal knockout. I know Bisping took that fight on short notice, but that's a confident builder. He lost to Chris Weidman in that close fight.
So, and Jacare is very good at, he's one of the best in mixed martial arts at submitting guys. So, and then the no contest versus Vitor, it was originally a TKO for Gastelum.
But he was smoking pot. Yeah.
Positive for doing that thing that Eddie likes to do. Before that, a win against Tim Kennedy and a win against Johnny Hendricks.
Which is huge. A lot of people were saying that he should have got the title shot, but he was jumping around from division to division, not making weight, which is a pretty big deal.
Yeah. I'm going with Kelvin. I like Kelvin, and I think he's on the rise, and I think he will win against Jacare. Blah blah blah. Let's see. I think he's gonna knock him out.
That's what the UFC is probably hoping for. Their young up and coming guy to be the top 5 guy. What is Jacare ranked currently? Kelvin's at 5, Souza at 2. That would be huge. That would be huge.
Yeah, you could see them just flip flop, right? Kelvin takes number 2, Jacare goes down to number 5.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably what will happen. But I'm going to take Jacare Souza, probably get done in the first round via submission. I love the energy that he brings. This is a definitely solid card. Underneath that, somebody that we were kind of talking about last week, Ted, with fake accent, somebody that needs a translator for her native language in American. Mackenzie Dern going up against Amanda Bobby Cooper. We briefly spoke about this last week. I did post a YouTube video up on the Pure Evil MMA YouTube channel. But really quick, let's just give our predictions.
Mackenzie Dern, right. The crazy thing is, we hear that Anderson Silva is getting better at English, whereas Mackenzie Dern,
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
And we love Mackenzie Dern. No bash on her. At least I do. No bash on her. It's just weird. We have to say something.
She's got the best boobies in MMA, so how can we say anything negative about her? Ever since Gina Carano left, we've been looking for the next nice. Anyway, so you got Amanda Bobby Cooper. I got to admit, I don't know a lot about her, but she's 3-3. Not a great record.
3-3 in the UFC. 4-3. I see.
I have her last fight versus Angela Magana. Before that, a loss to Cynthia Calvillo. Before that, a win against Anna Elmose. Then losses to Tatiana Suarez and Aspen Ladd. And she started her career with a win over Brittany Dugas.
Her loss to Tatiana Suarez. Tatiana Suarez is a wrestler, a very good wrestler from that season Ultimate Fighter. Mackenzie Dern is one of the best submission artists. So we might see a little trouble there with ABC. ABC might run a little trouble, but I am rooting for... both these girls are a little trouble for each other, honestly. Mm-hmm. I'm rooting for Mackenzie Dern and Amanda Bobby Cooper. If you got to put 5 on it, I'd put 5 on Mackenzie Dern. My heart's with ABC. Yeah. 5 on Mackenzie Dern.
I think, as we, I think I might have said this before, or I might have been on one of my little broadcasts, but, I don't think that Mackenzie Dern is doing herself any favors by underestimating Amanda Bobby Cooper. I don't think she should do that, but she did say that, she thought this fight was going to be easier than her last fight. Nevertheless, I still think she has what it takes to win. So, by submission.
Let us know what you guys think on Twitter. That's definitely a very popular fight that everybody's going to be tuning in to watch if they're a fan of this sport. Below that, we have John Lineker against Kelleher. Lineker in 6 right now, and we all know that he loves to stand and bang. This is a potential fight of the night, at least 50K bonus potential. written on it. And he's coming off a win over Marlon Vera back in October of 2017. That was John Lineker's last fight. And then you got Kelleher with a 19-8 record, not ranked right now, but coming off a huge win, a confident boost off the former Bantamweight champion, Renan Barão.
Right. Yeah, he's got a 19-8 record, does Ryan Kelleher. If I flip things around like Goldie used to do, he always would flip around. But yeah, he had the win over Barão, the win over Stasiak, the loss to Marlon Vera. But then prior to that, he had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fight win streak.
Wow.
I mean, and that's some of that in the UFC. Actually, only one of that in the UFC. The rest in other promotions, but some of them bigger promotions like Ring of Combat, CFFC, CES MMA.
All big.
So,
East Coast.
Respectable organizations. So yeah, I got to admit to you, Kelleher kind of off my radar, but a very respectable record and definitely spreads around. I'm just looking at his record: 7 knockout wins, 8 submission wins, and 4 by decision.
Okay, so here's the thing with this fight, though, Ted.
Yeah.
John Lineker is kind of more of a heavier Renan Barão when it comes to knockouts. He is Renan Barão, but with knockout power. What do you think? Do you think John Lineker has a shot here to knock out Kelleher? I think definitely so. Here is going to be a war because Kelleher is probably going to stand there and want to trade with him, knowing Kelleher, who's pretty well rounded, but he's got that killer instinct as well. Like
he's never been knocked out though,
just like John Lineker has.
But there's a first time for everything.
Yeah, and that confidence of a guy who's never been knocked out will test the waters more than guys who have.
Right. So I'll go with Lineker by knockout.
All right, so moving down below that, guys, Vitor Belfort versus Lyoto Machida. This is a fight that we talked about as well in the last podcast, but really quick, it's only right that we give you guys our prediction in case you didn't hear last week. This could be the last fight on both these guys' UFC career. Both these guys Hall of Famers in MMA and the UFC. Ted, but are we clear on that? Is this the last fight for both gentlemen?
I don't think we are clear on it, Eddie. Okay,
no.
So here's what I read recently. Lyoto is saying, hey, if I win here, I'm on track to challenge for the title. So it sounds like he's turning back. He's walking back any retirement talk. And then you got Vitor saying also, he says, hey, this is my last fight, but I might not retire. So to me, that means he could fight elsewhere.
It means if I knock you out like Matt Brown did to Diego, I'm going to keep doing this thing. If it feels good, I'm going to want more,
I don't know. To me, it means I think he's going to leave the UFC.
Give a mouse a cookie. You
know
think
what I mean?
That's something that was also discussed as well. He could TRT overseas.
Yeah, I don't think the Czech they never did during Pride.
They make it in bold. I heard they make it in bold print. We do not test you leading up to fights. Just a little rumor heard on the underground.
Oh, okay. You're referring to Ryzen.
That's just a little rumor I've heard. I don't know what promotion. I don't know. You guys look into it, like Eddie Bravo says. You look into it.
You look into it. I'm not going to look into it. You look into it. All right. So yeah, I'm going to go with Lyoto Machida on this one. I think Machida. Let's see.
Both these guys still in the top 15, Ted. How crazy is that after all these years?
Wow. I'm going with Lyoto Machida by unanimous decision.
Yeah, I probably see this fight probably going decision as well. Lyoto taking the win. Probably winning second, third, fourth. Or second, fourth, and fifth rounds. I'd give Vitor first and... what the fuck am I talking about here?
Eddie.
The fuck am I talking about? I'm used to seeing these guys headline. Like Lyoto Machida versus Vitor Belfort. Wasn't this fight supposed to go down? These guys didn't fight before, but I think they were supposed to fight like UFC 150 something. Or no, 185, I think, actually. UFC 185. And then it fell through. I think so. But yeah, I think Vitor takes first round, Lyoto second and third here.
Yeah,
But
because I mean, there's a lot of respect between the two of them. They're both, Brazilians, and I think they'll give each other a lot of respect. So I don't know if we're going to see a very exciting fight.
possibility, yeah, it's a possibility. But you know what?
I
Then
just
again,
think they're going to give each other a lot of respect and kind of move around a bit, but kind of be apprehensive about striking too much because they don't, they don't want to damage each other.
which one was it that was saying it? Like one of them was saying, "I don't want to fight him because he's from Brazil." The other one was like, I don't really mind."
Yeah, I
I
don't know
forgot.
which one.
Either way, me and Ted both going for Lyoto Machida. Moving further down, Diego
Yep.
Ferreira versus Robertson, right? Diego Ferreira. Cesar
Cesar.
Ferreira going up against Carl Robinson, who's undefeated right now, and I don't know very much about either guy,
I
to
think
be honest.
Roberson won Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series, didn't he? Yeah, he did. He beat Ryan Spann by knockout at Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series 3, and then since that time he beat Darren Stewart by submission. But he's only 6-0.
Yeah,
So
Cesar Ferreira, man, he's lost to some of the bigger names though. This he's fought
he
some
was,
tough competition.
he's a protege of Vitor Belfort. Yeah, because they call him Mutante, the mutant.
It seems like somebody that he could beat though. I think Ferreira can take Robinson on this one because it seems like with the upper echelon guys he struggles with. But I mean, I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. This guy's undefeated. But I'm going to take Ferreira on this one, Ted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd have to go with Ferreira too. I mean, just like I said, Roberson is kind of untested, just kind of getting into the sport, whereas Ferreira has 12 more fights than Roberson, so that probably is going to count for something.
All right, so let's get to one of the last ones here that we'll discuss. Another ranked fight between Oleinik and Albini. Now, Ted, the big talk on this one for Big Baby, the Big Baby Junior Albini Jr. Is he going to show up in a diaper again or what?
Well, he did the last time, or was that was his fight against
Arlovsky.
Well, that was his fight against Arlovsky. That was his last fight, his most recent fight. Yeah, he shows up in like it looked like a diaper to me. I don't know what it. I mean, it was shorts
Junior Baby Albini in a diaper.
Right.
I hope he shows up in a diaper again. It fits.
A big baby. That's one big baby. 6'3", 265-pound baby.
And this will be his third fight in the UFC. He's 1-1 so far.
And he is, well, heck, he's got 6 knockouts, 6 submissions, and 2 decisions. So, kind of spreads it around a bit there. But I mean, if I were him, I would not want to trade submissions with Alexei Oleinik because that guy, the boa constrictor, has how many submissions to his credit? Like 40 something.
He's 52-11. First off, the dude's 6'2" and 40 years old.
Right, and 43 submissions to his credit.
Who is that? I don't remember what fight it was that he was in. It was last year, but I believe it was him where he had some crazy submission when
the Ezekiel choke.
The Ezekiel choke. Doesn't he have like 2 Ezekiel chokes?
From the bottom. It's like it's almost like you're using both your arms. Ezekiel choke. That was against a guy named Victor Pesta.
All right, and then after that, he beat Travis Brown. So he was building up momentum until he got to Curtis Blades, and now he's going to be fighting Junior Albini. So can he build up the momentum again, or will a Big Baby, the Junior Albini, take the cake? I'm going for Oleinik here on this one, Ted.
Me too.
5 on Oleinik. All right, last one. Below that, there's Ramos versus Hine, but there's one on here I want to talk about. Where was it? Oh, Warley Alves, dude. We're very familiar with this guy. He's fought Usman. He's fought Brian Barberino. He's fought Kobe Covington. He's had some trouble, but he's going in here against Sultan Aliyev, who's really a wrestling guy, Sambo. but he's also coming off a win. That's a fight where it's really big for Alves, who's 12-2 right now. Who's also coming off a win to get his name back into the serious contender part, because he's lost to people like Usman, and for him to get back into the talk, he needs to get a win here. This is going to be a tough one. Alves 12-2, Aliv 14-2. Going with Alves to get this one done. I just think that's another one that you guys need to pay attention to here that no one's really talking about. Is there anyone else on here that you want to discuss, Ted, before we close this out?
Well, a name that I think a lot of people will recognize, Talis Litis.
Versus Hermanson.
Right. Although, hey, Litis has been on some, he's been on some tough times here. Lost to Gegard Mousasi, win over Chris Camozzi, lost to Krzysztof Jutko, win over Sam Alvey, lost to Brad Tavares. So does that mean he's going loss win, loss win, loss win? Then he's due for a win. If you follow that pattern.
I mean, let's go all the way back for those of you guys that don't know. Listening, UFC 69, he has a win over Pete Sell. Ultimate Fighter in 2007, he beats Floyd Sword. UFC 74, he beats Ryan Jensen. UFC 85, he beats Nate Marquardt, the youngest champion. And what organization was Nate in before that?
Nate was in Pancrase.
Yeah, he was a 19-year-old champion over there. After that, UFC 90, he beats Drew McFedries in October of 2008. After that, he experiences, I think, second loss in the UFC at UFC 97 against Anderson Silva. That was at UFC 97.
Where he was like on his back the entire fight, and Anderson, he wouldn't get up, and Anderson wouldn't engage, and Dana White got really pissed. That one, and then the Damian Maia fight with Anderson Silva. Dana White was mad at Anderson Silva for both of those. He really put the blame on him. Those
are two of the real freaking boring fights. After that, he lost to Alessio Sakharov. And he beats Tom Watson, beats Ed Herman. Gets a couple more wins after that. I mean, he's beat Tim Boetsch, lost to Michael Bisping, lost to Gegard Mousasi, won over Chris Camozzi, lost to Jotko, win over Sam Alvey, like you said, Brad Tavares, lost. And here we are, Jack Hermanson. He needs a win, man, to stay relevant. He's 36 years old.
Oh, Harambe's Final Seed Momo says, haven't watched, please no spoilers, Ted. Okay, well, Harambe, no problem. We already did talk about the show, but we're not going to talk about it anymore, so don't go back and watch the rest of this show then. Don't do that.
All right, Ted, closing thoughts. Looking at this fight on paper, UFC 224 going into it, what do you expect this rating to be out of 10? Just looking at it on paper, yeah.
UFC 224? Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, but the thing is, just looking at it like that, you're like, it doesn't seem so great. Yeah, but I mean, hell, we could see some of the most exciting. You just never know.